Look, I'm not saying I'm some saint, but who hasn't messed up when life gets messy? I'm Kylie. Pacify me. And let's just say things spiraled in a way I didn't see coming. I'm spilling this because it's eating me up. And you're the only one I can tell without getting that judgy side eye. Picture this. A regular Thursday. I'm scrolling through my phone, sipping cheap wine, and then my whole world flips upside down because of one stupid decision. Well, maybe a few, but I'm getting ahead of myself. It started a few months back. My husband, Warwick, was, I don't know, fading on me. He's 32. Got this whole I'm trying to be better vibe going, always reading self-help books and journaling like he's auditioning for some TED Talk. It's exhausting. He'd come home from work something vague with spreadsheets. Don't ask me and just zone out, scribbling in his notebook or staring at his phone. No spark, no chase, just comfortable. And I'm not about that life. I need attention. Someone who sees me, not some guy who thinks writing down his feelings makes him husband of the year. So, yeah, I started noticing other guys, not, on purpose, but Warwick's distance made it easy to wander. Enter Soren. This guy I met at a dive bar one night when Warwick bailed on our date night again. Soren's got this rough edge, tattoos creeping up his neck, and a laugh that makes you feel like you're in on some secret. He's 34, works some manual job construction. Maybe. Doesn't matter. Point is, he looked at me like I was the only one in the room. Not like Warwick, who'd rather analyze his emotions than actually feel them. I didn't plan to hook up with Soren. It just happened. One night turned into a few texts, then late-night meetups when Warwick was too tired to notice I was gone. Soren had this way of making me feel alive, like I was 22 again, sneaking out to some party. But here's the kicker. Soren dropped this bomb one night, mid-makeout in his truck. He's got a kid on the way. His girlfriend, Taylor, is pregnant. Really pregnant. I should have bolted right then, but I didn't. I told myself it wasn't my mess. He said they were basically done, and I ate it up because I wanted to. Besides, Warwick wasn't exactly fighting for me, so why should I play the good wife? Things got reckless fast. Soren and I would meet up at this sketchy motel off the highway, the kind with flickering neon signs and questionable sheets. I'd tell Warwick I was at a friend's, and he'd just nod, too wrapped up in his own head to question it. I'd come home, shower off the guilt, and act like nothing happened. But inside, I was buzzing. Soren was my escape, my proof I was still worth wanting. And yeah, I knew it was wrong. But I didn't care. I deserved to feel good, didn't I? Then came that night, the one that's burned into my brain like a bad tattoo. It was a humid Tuesday, and I was at the motel with Soren. We're tangled up, music blasting from his phone. When his phone starts blowing up, not just one call over and over, he ignores it at first. But I'm like, dude, answer it before I lose my vibe. He grabs it, and his whole face changes. He's not even in the room anymore. He mutters something about needing to go and starts throwing on his clothes. I'm sitting there, half-dressed, annoyed as hell. What's the deal? I ask, and he hits me with it. Taylor's in labor. I gotta go to the hospital. I just stare at him. Labor. Now, mid-hookup. I laugh because it's so absurd, but inside, I'm freaking out. I'm thinking, this is not my life, but this is some trashy reality show. Soren's already out the door, leaving me to deal with the fallout. I grab my stuff, head home, and try to act normal. Warwick's asleep on the couch. Some documentary droning on the TV. I slip into bed, but I can't shake this feeling like I've stepped into quicksand and I'm sinking fast. The next morning, I'm making coffee, trying to pretend it's just another day.
When there's this pounding at the door.
Not a knock full on banging. Like someone's trying to break it down. I open it, and there's this woman, maybe mid-20s, eyes red and puffy, looking like she's ready to throw hands. She's got this wild energy, like she's been up all night. You, Kylie.
She snaps.
And my stomach drops. I nod, because what else am I gonna do? She introduces herself as Jessa, Taylor's sister, and starts laying into me. Apparently, Soren fessed up at the hospital, probably high on adrenaline or guilt, and told Taylor everything, including me. Jessa's screaming about how I'm a homewrecker, how Taylor's in the hospital with a newborn, and I'm out here ruining lives. I'm just standing there, coffee mug in hand, trying to keep my cool. Inside, though, I'm raging. How is this my fault? Soren's the one who lied to both of us. I tell her that. All calm and collected, but she's not having it. She calls me every name in the book, says I'm trash, and storms off. I slam the door, heart pounding, and that's when I notice Warwick standing in the hallway. He's got this look, not angry, just empty, like he's seeing me for the first time and doesn't like what he sees. I try to brush it off, say it's some crazy misunderstanding, but Warwick's not stupid. He starts asking questions, and I'm dodging them like bullets. Where was I last night? Why is this random woman at our door? And I'm scrambling, throwing out half-truths. But he's not buying it. He doesn't yell, doesn't fight. He just grabs his keys and leaves. No big speech, no tears, just gone. And I'm left in this quiet house, feeling like the walls are closing in. You'd think that'd be the wake-up call, right? But I was too deep in my own head. I told myself Warwick was overreacting, that he'd come back once he cooled off. I kept texting Soren, too, because I needed someone to tell me I wasn't the bad guy. He didn't answer. Ghosted me. Probably back with Taylor, playing happy family. I was pissed, but I didn't stop. I kept chasing that high. That feeling of being wanted. Even if it was all smoke and mirrors. Weeks passed, and Warwick didn't come home. He texted once, saying he needed space. And I was like, fine, take your space. I didn't beg. I'm not that girl. I started going out more, hitting bars, flirting with whoever gave me attention. I told myself I was free, that Warwick was the one missing out. But then I saw him, not at some dramatic reunion, just at a coffee shop. He was with this woman, maybe 30, plain but pretty in that effortless way. They were laughing, and he looked lighter. Like he'd shed this weight I didn't even know he was carrying. I watched them for a minute, and it hit me. He was done with me. Not just mad done. I went home and tore through his stuff, looking for answers. Found his journal, the one he was always scribbling in, page after page of how he felt trapped, how he tried to make me happy but never could, how he knew I was pulling away but didn't know how to fix it. And then, the last entry. I deserve better than this. I threw the thing across the room. Who was he to judge me? I was the one stuck in this boring life, not him. Things unraveled fast after that. Warwick filed for divorce. And I didn't fight it. What was the point? I told myself I didn't need him, that I was better off. But then the whispers started. Friends, well, people I thought were friends started pulling away. I'd walk into a room, and conversations would stop. Turns out, Jessa didn't just yell at me that day. She'd been telling everyone about me and Soren, painting me as this heartless monster. And they believed her. Even my cousin, who I've known forever, gave me this look like I was radioactive. I tried to move on, got on some dating apps, but it was a disaster. Guys would Google me, find some posts Jessa made on social media, and bail. My job something with schedules and emails. Nothing fancy started feeling like a trap. Co-workers were side-eyeing me, probably because someone blabbed. I'd go home to this empty apartment. No Warwick, no Soren, no friends. Just me and my thoughts. And let me tell you, my thoughts are not great company. The worst part, last week, I saw Soren and Taylor at the mall. They were pushing a stroller, looking tired but together, like they'd figured it out. And Warwick, I heard he's moving to Chicago with that coffee shop girl. He's got some new job. Sounds like he's actually happy. Meanwhile, I'm stuck here, scraping by, with nothing but my pride and a fridge full of wine. I'm not saying I'm the victim. Okay, but I'm not the only one who screwed up. Warwick could have tried harder. Soren shouldn't have lied. Jessa didn't need to blast me to everyone. They all played their part, but I'm the one paying for it. And yeah, I'm bitter. Why shouldn't I be? Life's not fair, and I'm done pretending it is. I just keep moving, because what else am I supposed to do? Okay, so you thought my life couldn't get any messier. Buckle up. Because it's like the universe decided I was its personal punching bag. I'm Colleen, still 29, though I feel about 100 years old after everything. I'm telling you this straight. No filter, like we're holed up in some diner at 2 a.m. here, splitting fries and spilling secrets. Last time, I left off with Warwick gone, Soren back with his baby mama, and me stuck in this empty apartment, sipping wine and pretending I'm fine. Spoiler, I'm not, but don't expect me to cry about it. I'm done with that noise. It's been a couple of months since Jessa showed up at my door, screaming like I personally ruined her sister's life. Warwick's divorce papers are sitting on my counter, unsigned. because I keep telling myself I'll deal with them later. I'm not stalling out of love or anything sappy, it's just the principle. Why should I make it easy for him to walk away? He's the one who checked out first, with his stupid journal and his I deserve better garbage. Meanwhile, I'm trying to piece my life back together, but it's like trying to glue a shattered vase with dollar store tape. I started going out more, hitting up bars and clubs, anywhere with loud music to drown out my head. I'm not chasing guys. Not really, but I need the noise, the energy, the proof I'm not invisible. One night, I'm at this place with sticky floors and overpriced drinks, and I meet Vance. He's 30, got this cocky grin and a vibe like he's always one step ahead of everyone. He's not my type, too slick. Like he's selling something, but he buys me a drink and doesn't ask too many questions, which is exactly what I need. We talk, we laugh, and for a few hours, I forget about Warwick's empty side of the bed and Jess's social media smear campaign. Vance becomes a regular thing. Not serious, just convenient. He's got a job, something with deliveries. I don't pry in a tiny apartment that smells like takeout and weed. We'd hang out, hook up, and I'd leave before morning. It's not love. Not even close.
But it's a distraction.
And I'm good at distractions. Problem is, Vance starts getting clingy, texting me all the time, wanting to know where I'm at, who I'm with. I'm like, dude, chill. This isn't a rom-com. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I just want to feel something other than this pit in my stomach. One night, I'm at Vance's place, and he's going on about how we should make this official. I'm half listening, scrolling through my phone, when I see a notification pop up. A mutual friend tagged Warwick in a post. It's a picture of him and that coffee shop girl, Lena, at some art gallery opening. They're smiling, her arm looped through his, and he's got this glow, like he's finally figured out how to be happy. My chest tightens, and I toss my phone on the couch like it's on fire. Vance notices, asks what's wrong, and I snap at him to mind his own business. He gets all huffy, saying I'm emotionally unavailable, and I'm like, no kidding, genius. I grab my stuff and bounce, because I don't need another guy trying to fix me. Back home, I'm replaying that picture in my head. Warwick's moved on, and I'm, screwing around with some dude who thinks we're soulmates because we've hooked up a few times. I pour a glass of wine, okay? Fine. Half the bottle and start scrolling through old texts from Soren. Nothing new. Of course. He's probably playing Dad of the Year with Taylor and their kid. I don't miss him. Not really. But I miss the way he made me feel wanted. Like I was the center of his world. Even if it was a lie. I text him anyway, just to see if he'll bite. He doesn't. Big surprise. The next day, I'm at work, some mind-numbing gig with emails and calendars, and I overhear two co-workers whispering. They shut up when I walk by, but I catch my name and that girl from the drama. Great. Jess's little vendetta is still following me. I try to focus, but my head's a mess. I keep thinking about Warwick, how he's probably telling Lena I was the worst thing that ever happened to him. And maybe I was, but he wasn't exactly a prize either. Always so wrapped up in his self-improvement crap, he forgot I existed. That night, I'm supposed to meet up with my cousin, Maris, for drinks. She's one of the few people who hasn't ditched me. But when I get to the bar, she's got this look, like she's about to stage an intervention. She starts asking about Warwick, about the divorce papers, about whether I'm okay. I laugh it off, say I'm living my best life. But she's not buying it. She brings up Jessa, how everyone's talking about what I did with Soren. I'm like, why is it always my fault? Soren's the one who lied. Maris just shakes her head. Says I need to own my part. Own my part. What is this? A therapy session. I finish my drink and leave, because I don't need her preaching at me. Things start spiraling from there. Vance keeps blowing up my phone, and when I finally tell him to back off, he flips out, calls me selfish, says I used him. I'm like, a pot meat kettle. But it stings, because deep down, I know he's not wrong. I've been using everyone, Vance, Soren, even Warwick, to fill this hole inside me. But admitting that would mean admitting I'm the problem. And I'm not ready for that. So I double down, tell Vance he's clingy and pathetic, and block his number. A week later, I'm at the grocery store, and I run into Jessa. Of all people, she's got Taylor's baby in a stroller. This tiny thing with Soren's eyes. I freeze, hoping she doesn't see me. But no such luck. She locks eyes with me and much is over. All righteous fury. You've got some nerve, she says, voice low but sharp. You knew Taylor almost lost the baby because of the stress you caused. I'm caught off guard. So I just stand there, clutching a bag of frozen peas. I mumble something about how it wasn't my fault, how Soren lied to me too, but she cuts me off. You knew he was with her. You chose to ignore it, and then she walks away, leaving me standing there like an idiot. I go home, and for the first time, I feel this weight, not guilt, exactly, but something close. I push it down, because I don't do regrets. Instead, I call up an old fling, some guy named Rory from a year ago. He's free, so we meet at a bar, and I'm trying to recapture that rush, that feeling of being wanted. But it's not the same. Rory's nice enough, but he's boring, talking about his dog and his fantasy football league. I'm nodding along, but my mind's on Warwick, on Soren, on Jess's words. I cut the night short and go home, alone. The next morning, I get a text from my landlord. My rent's late again because I've been blowing money on drinks and Ubers to avoid my empty apartment. I try to call Warwick, thinking maybe he'll help out for old time's sake. But his number's disconnected. Of course it is. I check social media, and there's a new post from Lena. It's Warwick, holding a set of keys, grinning like an idiot. Caption says they're moving in together in Chicago. I throw my phone across the room, and it cracks the screen. Perfect. Where it gets worse, my boss pulls me aside, says there's been talk about my personal life affecting my performance. I am like, what performance? I answer emails, but apparently I've been slipping missing deadlines, zoning out in meetings. I tell her I'm fine, but she gives me this pitying look, like I'm some broken toy. I'm put on a performance plan, which is basically code for we're watching you. I leave her office fuming, because how is any of this fair? I didn't ask for Soren to lie, or Jessa to ruin my reputation, or Warwick to ditch me for some boring chick. I try to keep it together, but it's like I'm unraveling. My apartment's a mess, dishes piled up, laundry everywhere. I stop going out, 'cause what's the point? Everyone's heard about me by now. Maris texts, saying she's worried, but I ignore her. I don't need her fake concern. I start spending more time alone, scrolling through old pictures of me and Warwick, back when things were good, or at least when I thought they were. I tell myself I don't miss him, but I keep zooming in on his face, wondering when he stopped looking at me like he used to. Then comes the final blow. I get a call from my mom, who I haven't talked to in months. She's heard everything. Jess's post made it to her somehow. She's disappointed, says I've lost my way. I snap back, tell her she doesn't get it, that Warwick wasn't perfect either. She sighs, says, Kylini, at some point, you have to look at yourself. I hang up, because I'm not doing this. Look at myself. For what? I didn't make Soren cheat, or Warwick leave, or Jessa turn everyone against me. Now I'm here, sitting in this cramped apartment, surrounded by takeout containers and unpaid bills. Warwick's gone, living his best life with Lena. Soren's playing family man with Taylor. Even Vance has probably moved on to some girl who's less unavailable. And me, I'm stuck, with no one to blame but, well, everyone else. I know what you're thinking, that I brought this on myself. But I didn't. I was just trying to feel something. Anything. In a life that kept letting me down. And yeah, I'm bitter. Because why do they all get to move on while I'm left picking up the pieces? I'm not sorry for what I did. I'm just mad it didn't work out the way I wanted.